Good morning, everyone. I'm just taking a stroll, going for a hike, just like people in California like to say. I live in a very beautiful area, as you can see. I thought that I'm gonna take this time as I'm walking to share with you my recent reflections. So I broke up recently, and I thought it would be like a great material for making a video why my relationships didn't work. I think there is something very important to share. Every time that I had a relationship, like I had this feeling that there is something that I haven't fixed yet, and it always felt weird for me, like something is wrong. And it might be that basically just the person wasn't for me, and it might be also there was just my internal critic saying you're not where you should be. But I always felt like I'm supposed to be in a relationship and have a good relationship if I haven't solved things for myself yet. And I think there is like something in there because it's a repeating pattern. Guys, you have to see this. There's like this crazy view in front of me, so I have to show you. This is literally nearby my house. So I don't truly believe that we can completely fix ourselves, like we are fixing ourselves the entire life. Like I believe there has to be like a certain level of confidence in how do you feel about how you spend your free time? How do you feel about what you do? How do you feel, how protective you are of your space? Like I think like this, the fact that you have a feeling that you are looking for someone that is gonna fill up your time, your free time, is definitely a wrong idea. I don't know, like, but at the same time, I think this is also because like you're in a wrong relationship. There should be like, I think that in a good relationship, you're not gonna have like these thoughts, but then you can get into this good relationship if you actually like start feeling good on your own. I think alone time is so critical. Like if you're with other people, it's so much easier to deal with not having contact from the other person. But I think that alone time, and now with the social media, people are escaping to not thinking about who they are, what they want to do. It is very critical, like before and now, of course, like I went through many relationships and I've learned all of that, but I think, probably I wouldn't learn if like I wouldn't be in those relationships. Now that I am like off from the relationship, like I have to get to a good place where I'm not looking for someone to fill up that empty space in me, that I'm feeling good spending my weekends just by myself. Like I'm not looking for that validation. I'm not like constantly checking the dating apps, like looking for someone because I'm missing something. I think like now I finally sort of like start feeling like at peace with myself and like not really wanting anything more. Learning who you are and how to be with yourself in the alone time is super critical if you want to be successful in the relationships. Because why it is important? First of all, if you feel good with yourself, you're not gonna accept people that want to use you, do not put you as a priority, people that basically don't want to create healthy relationships. Simple as that. Even if you meet someone, right, that it's good for you, like if you can't really be alone, you're going to ruin that because you're gonna be too needy. Two people, in order to create healthy relationship, need to have a sense of independence. So I think that was really my problem, that I didn't really know how to be alone. And even if I was with a person, like I would totally give myself to this person because I didn't have my own boundaries. I didn't know what is my internal space. Like my energy, my whole energy would basically go into this other person. That's why relationships don't work, because we don't really know who we are. How do we learn about ourselves? It's a key question, and I think this should be really taught from the super early stages of our lives. For me, I'm a creative person. I love to explore many layers that substitute of who I am. So I go into creative things. Like after my breakup, before the most recent breakup, what I did, and it was like purely intuitive thing, there was poetry coming to my mind. There were like so many words, things that I couldn't say because this person wasn't talking to me. These words started to appear in my mind in a different format. These were like the poems, and I started writing them. I was creating stories on Instagram, and at some point I had like a huge collection of these poems and these stories that I created over time. And I started talking to people, what can I do about it? And this is how I released my poetry book. And I think this was like such a great thing that happened to me, because it helped me to purge like all these crazy emotions that I had, but also allowed me to feel in content with myself. It allowed me to value something that I've created. And on top of that, I also was creating like a creative sessions for myself where I was dressing up. I wanted to see myself in a different light. I didn't want to see the same person that like gave everything to this guy in the past. I wanted to see a different reborn version of myself. I felt like, oh wow, there's like a different me. Like I feel so good doing that. It really helped me to rebuild myself from scratch. And there were more things that I started doing, like more creative ideas. They were just coming one after the other, like even business ideas. This is what happens. You like start opening yourself up like piece by piece, learning who you are, how much potential you have inside yourself. And then your free time is occupied, which is really the key. How are you spending your free time? Not mindlessly scrolling social media or like thinking about this other person. Although I'm like also guilty of that, not saying that I'm never doing that, but I'm conscious now that I need to put effort into learning about myself. Now that I am after the second breakup, I can definitely see a change in terms of how I feel. I'm much more aware of things that are important to me. So right now I'm focusing more on creating my YouTube channel, my social media accounts. Like I know that this is something important to me, and I'd rather spend time doing those things than looking for validation from another guy, that it's gonna help me with my insecurities, it's gonna fill up my free time. Like right now, I'm much more aware of I don't really need to look for the next person. I'm feeling really good by myself. I'm in content with that I'm spending my weekend being alone. I no longer want to look for someone. My goal right now is to feel good with myself. You can't really skip all the steps to get to this point. So I think relationships are important because you're experiencing things that teach you stuff. This is also the reason like why I made this video, like why my relationships didn't work, because I basically wasn't in that place at any time. Like I was always looking for someone. We have to go through these breakups to realize that we don't really need someone. First thing that we have to do is feel good with ourselves. Feeling good how we are spending our alone time. You should be craving this. Like you should be feeling very good by yourself. Explore yourself in a creative ways. And once you are in that spot, I truly believe that you can attract the right people. But this is not the goal, to attract the right people. The goal is that you feel good with yourself. And this is my dream. I really want to feel good in my own skin, in my free time, in my alone time. This is where I'm today, what I'm doing. I took myself on a date. I'm so happy that I'm at this point because I don't really want, and I'm not seeking for anyone right now. Like, I just feel good doing that by myself. I want my peace, which also comes with experience. I'm like, I just got fed up with all the relationships that I had and didn't work. Guys, these views are out of this world. Just have a look. So like there are these beautiful mountains behind me. Now there's this ocean behind me. What a painting. You might be also asking, right? Because like what I also tell myself, and I'm like questioning now that I'm like feeling good by myself, by being alone, and I'm in a limbo, right? Like I'm not interacting with people. Will this actually work once I meet someone? And I have to tell you, I'm not so worried right now about that. This is the first time that I'm feeling like I don't need to jump from one relationship to another, because I'm focused on relationship with myself right now. And I truly believe that once you get into a good space, you can also start attracting better people. And I truly believe in that. Like, I don't really think you're gonna like end up in the same situation as before. You always like end up being stronger than in the previous relationship. You're able to like tell much faster if something is good for you or not. Why my relationships didn't work? I think because I've been ignoring myself, and this is the big issue. We should never be ignoring ourselves, our own inner voice, ignoring voice that it's telling us we should be focusing on ourselves. It is a voice telling us this person is not good for us. It is a voice telling us the situation doesn't feel right. This is the voice that it's telling us you shouldn't be focusing on the lives of other people. You should be focusing on your own life. This is the voice telling you, you have so much inner potential, please use it. And ignoring all of these messages, it's basically like we are forcing relationship to happen while we are ignoring our own voice. Time has an agenda. Certain things need to happen in the right order. I don't think we can really skip the steps. And this is something that I realized recently, which is a very beautiful thought. A time has its own time. We cannot tell the time what should happen. Time will reveal to us certain things. And we have no power to change that. We have a power to listen to it and act accordingly. But I think, unfortunately, like in nature, there is a certain order in just basically how things are happening. But I think we can make things happen faster if we listen to our inner voice. That's why it's so important. And we many times ignore that inner voice because we want something else. Unfortunately, this is how it is. So time has its own time.